Hello everyone, I'm Meena Noronha and I'm back with another episode of Walk the Special Path. Today we have a very distinguished guest with us. Let's welcome Honorable S Basavaraju, former State District Commissioner, Karnataka. He has been working since the last 3 decades in the field of disability. Welcome to our talk show, Sir Basavaraju.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
It's an honor to have you here with us, sir. As part of the series, we have brought to you Sir Basavaraju, who's going to answer so many of our questions, mainly of special needs parents out there. As Sir has been working in this field and has been part of this department, he's the most knowledgeable person we can find for parents having children with special needs. And he has been empowering the parents who have special needs by giving them information, working along with them, and helping them to a great extent. Thank you, sir, for being with us today here. So my first question would be to you, sir. How can we empower special needs parents and their families?
Well, I think the first and foremost thing is parents are the very, very important key stakeholders in enabling the quality of life for, the special needs children.
Yes.
So therefore, we need to equip them with adequate knowledge, skills, and understanding on the various possibilities in front of them. Because unlike the other children, these children do need a specific support, and which can be done without much difficulty. The only question is how far we equip them, how far we build them, and how far we really empower them so that they know what is possible. Only then I think the active participation and engagement will certainly make a huge contribution to the whole disability sector. I only believe that when parents play a central role in any of the government programs, schemes, and the larger society, then we have actually ensure the quality of life of people with disability and the rights are being fulfilled. Yeah. And that's the way we need to go forward. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. So I would like to ask you, Karnataka government has made some provisions for special needs children, and even India government has done. So what provisions our government has for these special needs children?
Well, we have the act called Rights of Person with Disability Act 2016, which is a very, very powerful act, and which is basically look at people with disability as, it's a right-based issue. It is not something that, they need to be somebody doing some favor to them. It's in a way, it is their right. And it is the responsibility of the state, the local bodies, and the largest organizations and civil society organizations also to play some role in it. Therefore, I think to begin with, we always look at it, the first and foremost thing we need to look at is early identification and early support for these children would go a long way in terms of reduction of disability.
Yes.
And also providing good quality, counseling, training, and exposing them on the various alternatives. That is also part of the act. The Government of Karnataka does have several schemes and several programs in various areas. For example, they provide monthly, disability allowances, what we call as a pension, for a large number of people. And particularly people with intellectual disability, they are providing per month around 2,000 rupees. So which is, fairly good money. But only thing is many people need to know and access it. Similarly, government also provides the grant for some of the voluntary organizations so that the services are made available right at the district level, at the block level, so that people can access such services to empower and enable those children to get what they needed. And of course, in addition, we do have every local bodies, for example, urban local bodies or rural development organizations like panchayats and taluk panchayat, jilla panchayat. We do have 5% of the total money, whatever they spent on various development programs, they're expected to, as a part of their duty, spend 5% of the money on the varied needs of people with disability. It could be infrastructure, it could be individual needs, it could be training parents. All that is part of their roles and responsibilities. And we have appointed a large number of staff towards providing various kind of support system. The only point is when the parents start empowered, when the parents start demand, this has to be delivered by the people who are appointed, things will change. So in my opinion, we can create money, we can create policies, we can create great laws. But if you're not able to work along with the system, we will not be able to really do justice to the special needs group.
Right. So you mentioned about the rights of persons with disabilities. That provision is there, but most of the parents don't know about it.
Correct.
I think 80 to 90% of the population don't know. Some of them are uneducated, some of them even being literate. They are not aware that this provision is there. So how exactly can this be reached out to all these parents?
So one, certainly I look at it, this kind of platforms could be one approach. And the second thing could be a smaller group, people like you facilitating, various provisions of the Act, and also, involve the joint program along with the Department of, Differently Abled and Senior Citizens to conduct this kind of a massive awareness. And judiciary is also a role to play. Like every district has, the various kinds of awareness program, various laws. They're willing to come and conduct the programs. I think we need to use judiciary to do more and more. And in addition, of course, we have the law colleges. And the law college students, the youngsters wanted to do some work. And if a parent group can get in touch with them, we can take this kind of awareness program campaigns right up to panchayat level. The only thing is it needs more leadership and more engagement of the parents beyond their own children, because they need to start think if things has to change at system level. If the system has to change, so there should be a leadership among the parent groups, and there should be consistent engagement, and then money, whatever the government allocates, whatever the society provides, reach to the right people, and we will reach every person who needs such support with certain level of quality, with high level of professional support. So then only things can change. I look at the need of the parents' engagement is very large, and we need to engage them as one of the important stakeholders. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Again, I would like to know, because here everybody says UDID card is a must. So how different it is other than an Aadhaar card, and why a UDID card is necessary, and what exactly it is?
See, the word UDID stands for Unique Disability Identity Card. Okay. So therefore, for every person to prove that he is a person with disability, this really acts as one important document. Therefore, this can be used across the country, and if you can take once for different purposes, can use, because there is a provision. Even the parents, once the child has an UDID card, can get tax exemptions if they are taxpayers. And there are also they can use it for accessing different schemes, different government benefits, because government, to provide anything, government always looks at documentation. So the person who has 40% and above disability will get the government benefit, what they call as a benchmark disability. So therefore, UDID card becomes a very, very important document for people with disability. By having said that, so there are people who have less disability, who are less than 40%, but those people can be provided, with educational support, with additional concession. For writing exams, they'll have provisions. Sometimes they can get scribe. And also there is a reservation, those who are 40% above disability, in all the education institutions, 5%, higher education, PhD courses. So huge benefits are there. Only thing is people need to feel comfortable and go and take it. See, the thing is, it's an online. They can go to the portal and then register it. And sometime, any of these online people need to be little have the skills because it can take only certain kind of a photograph. Directorate of in the district officer, or one of you can learn that. Then what we do in Bangalore, we are engaging a lot of parent groups who run programs along with the government hospital every week.
Okay.
So that you can guide, you can support, all that possible.
Okay. So I think because many parents have not yet made the UDID card, so they always hesitating why we should make this such a card. So it is, but I think right now it is the need of the hour that every child should have, isn't it, sir?
See, the point is, this is a unique, kind of an identification card. Unfortunately, many people don't want to also call their children has certain disability. So this is a social issue. Anyway, the choice is for them. But those who really want to get benefit out of it, I would recommend they should get one. And even the percentage of disability is less, they should, get that disability assessment done by the government department so that they can get educational benefits, they will get special attention. Because the end goal for us is how do we facilitate these children to have quality education, quality training, and they become productive. And many of the children do undergo a lot of technical challenges. The support required is quite high in some cases, and therefore this piece of document serve a great purpose. I think we need to educate the parents why they need to have it and how it will benefit them. Yeah,
I think it's very important. The message goes out to all the special parents that a UDID card is a must.
Yeah, they should know, because the more the number, the government can allocate more resources. And we can analyze it, and government also can come up with strategy to develop infrastructure, strategy to cater to this section. If you don't have number, the government always they will do some work. And because as far as we are concerned, the numbers are large. The parents should come forward. They shed their kind of concern, and if they want to talk, they should talk and accept there is some need, there is some support needed, and we'll provide it. Yeah.
Right, sir. Well, sir, because many parents are still in that denial mode, they don't want to come out and say they have a special needs child. So through this, we wanted to create that awareness that there are so many benefits government has for the special needs children. They just have to reach out.
See, the benefits are there. The staffs are appointed. The schemes are there. In our country, the biggest challenge is the delivery, because we all think that somebody else
reaching out to parents.
No, we all think that somebody else will do. Somebody else will only do when I play my part of the role, when I actively engage in it. Because any work that can happen when a clear engagement, collaboration, and association, and parent should definitely think that they have a role to play, and they have to make the system accountable, and they have to co-work with the system so that our children with disability have a greater future, greater life. And parents can have relief that during their lifetime they have settled their children like in other children, and the children can lead a near normal life.
Right, sir, and have at least better quality of life.
Sure.
So I would like to ask about education provisions. Now we have special needs centers, but inclusive centers are still, I think, lacking here in Karnataka. What education provisions are there particularly for these special children, and whether the new NEP education policy will benefit special needs children as such, sir?
Well, I think maybe many of you may not be aware of it. The large number of children are in the mainstream school. According to the data available in Karnataka, we have almost 90% of children with disability studying in the mainstream school, close to 90,000. Whereas children who are studying in, the special schools, which is less than 10,000. So, so therefore, of course, because they spread over, they're not in one particular number, people not get to notice it. Well, in terms of provisions, it's basically, no institution should deny admission. It starts from there. As much as possible, they should ensure that the child will have no barriers at all, whether physical barriers, whether communication barriers, or any other support which will aid the education of the children. The authorities concerned must provide such a provision in collaborating with the local bodies, collaborating with the department, collaborating with their own department, get the allocation done, and train the classroom teachers, and use the help of parents, so that the children will have quality education like anybody else. And of course, many children will benefit out of alternative technologies which they can use. It could be simple, softwares, or sometimes audiovisual supports, sometimes sign language. All this is necessary in order to aid the quality education for any of the children with disability. And they have to, partner with the parents. Parents also should feel comfortable to engage with the management, work with them, handhold them where necessary, and maybe work with the peers. I always found that in a mainstream school, when one of the friend of a child can be a great teacher, and we need to work with the child, and therefore many children we have seen of all kinds of disability are succeeded. They're doing engineering courses, they are doing medical courses, they are doing law courses. You name it, it is there. It depends purely on.
Yes, sir. The ones you are talking about, I think they are with minor disabilities or physical disabilities.
No. Even, of course, the numbers are less.
What about the learning disabled children?
Learning disabled, there are chartered accountants, there are lawyers, and it's basically purely depends on the level of understanding the parent has. Now, how much of kind of engagement the parents do. I have a parent here who has done a PhD in learning disability, specific learning disability. Quite a few are there. And so therefore, I think India, things have grown. But only thing is we need to, scale it up. We need to use those knowledge. We need to become, kind of a platform where we can share knowledge and see equal amount of role the parents has to play in to enable these children to have a quality education, quality support, so that there is no way they will be lesser compared to any other children. It's only the support, the ecosystem, and the kind of engagement that what we do with the system that matters.
Okay, sir. So, but do you think these educational institutions for inclusiveness, are they having these facilities? Because in Mangalore, we find it severely lacking. The facilities, the schools, like, maybe a ramp, walking ramp or any other things.
It's always like a, situation like this, whether which come first, whether they create and then you go, or you go and make them create.
Great.
So it's basically, there are some, I'm not telling that everything is great and all that. There are some efforts. Many a time, the standards and quality are an issue because they don't have a technical understanding. And many institutions, in my experience, when we start work with them a little bit more closely and the parents start engaging them, so they do put in that kind of an effort because they're all the time building new infrastructure. They're all the time, bringing scenes, investing a lot of money. It's only a question of persuading them and make them understand this is a need. And they will do it because they have done it, in all other area. See, one time we had so much of challenges for girls to have education, right? So just go back to 15, 20 years ago. How was in India for the girls' education? So today there is a non-issue. They are there all over. So disability also will be the similar.
It's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. It's also a matter of our work as a group, collective work.
Yeah, schools may refuse, but I think they should not refuse any special needs child, because
No,
parents
it's a
sometimes
law.
struggle.
It's a law. They can't refuse it.
But there are some schools we have
No,
found,
no.
like,
If
they
we can
refuse.
come to our notice, we educate them, we tell them, and we take
Okay.
action. We will cancel their, the permission. They
Okay.
can't. And
To
it's a
all the
law.
parents, to all the parents out there, please note that any school education institution cannot refuse admission to your child. It's a law, please, because most of them don't know. So hope through this
It's a
media,
law, and we have to just approach the BEO or DDPI. Even if it doesn't work, come back to commissioner. We will deal with a firm hands.
that's really good point, sir, because parents need to know that this law is there. They always get scared, and they just step backward saying the school is not taking. It has happened many times. But I think now they need to stand on the ground firmly and say, no, we need admission for our child.
See,
I think even
actually,
the
it's a
parent has to-
fundamental right, no? Education
Right,
is a
right.
fundamental right, and nobody can deny that.
Right, sir, right.
They should do it, but it's only a question of their understanding, their poor exposure to this issue, particularly
Right.
administrators. Yeah.
Right. Now coming back to the little elders children with after 18, because most of the institutions here are till 18 years. So what about those who are little elder, what facilities are there for these special need adults? What vocational training is provided? Because most of the centers we see here at the most is paperback making, medical envelopes making. That is there. They really are not teaching skills to the children so that they can stand on their own feet. So what would you say for that, sir?
Well, I fully agree with you. There's a huge gap, particularly the support for adults between the age group of 20 to 40, when they're intellectual disability, with their severe disability. There is a dearth for programs. There is a huge gap.
Right.
Again, most institutions, schools that are engaged, they are started as education institutions, so they graduated up to 18, 20 years. So beyond that, their skill level, their understanding levels are very poor. And I think here the role of the parents are paramount here. I would say if the parents can, start, because I see in Bangalore, I'm doing a lot of work with many parent groups. Parents have got huge resources, not network, knowledge, skills, and sometimes financial resources. So we need to actually start, develop some models, and we have to push government to pay more attention for this age bracket children, because many children can do mainstream jobs with some support, with good quality training, like you rightly pointed out. But the question is, it is just not sympathy factor, and we have to really build certain processes where these children will find comfortable and they are at ease in the working place. So therefore, the enough work that needs to happen. But we have lots of examples. In places like Bangalore, we have placed many of these intellectual disabled children into mainstream corporate jobs, government jobs, and also the numbers are not too many, I do agree, but it's possible. It's not that, it's not difficult. The point is we need to make more investment. We need to have a greater engagement to the parents instead of all the time telling what happens after me. I know all of us have this difficulty, but the challenge is, I will create something that I will have a peace when I go, because I have done my part of the duty, and also we need to some degree prepare the larger society to play some role. Society can play some role when they know it's possible. We have to engage them. So a lot of industries are open, are willing, and we need to partner with them, not only with the government. I think the civil society has to play a huge role in enabling employment, productivity. Many of our children can play extremely, a productive role if we can create a good environment. If we can create, can identify a product, and we can find a market. I think that is where we all need to play some attention. The parents have a huge role to play. I must tell this, with the due respect to all of you. See, this is an opportunity. Please jump in and do something. don't wait for others to do. I mean, I
Right.
don't really see anybody is going to really, I mean, they may give you money, they may write a check. The government also give money, but there is a hard work that needs to be done. That is the reality. Let's accept and take ownership and responsibility to do something for this particular age bracket.
I think parents like-minded should come together and start something of their own.
Sure.
That's
I fully endorse that, and that's the way forward.
And I would like to ask you, sir, here, like some children are non-verbal, they are not able to go out and work. So are there any special loans for these differently abled young ones? And how they can reach for that if they want to start something of their own, like a shop or anything, which especially for those young ones who can't go out and do something of their own?
See, what we have made the provisions under the law, any loan that government provides on various schemes, Pradhan Mantri schemes and local schemes, and 5% of that loan schemes must be provided to people with disability. Okay. So that means if 100 people are getting loans, there should be 5% of people with disability should get that loan. The only point is the banker will only give a loan when he is assured that he is going to pay back that particular loan. Right, but right. The loans also comes with certain subsidies and low rate of interest, sometime as grants. The point again is we need to engage the family as a whole in this, because sometime if we want to be productive, if you want to use that capital more wisely, the family as a whole, if they can involve, when I say family as a whole, 1 or 2 people in a family and a group of families can come together, loans will be available either as a group or for an individual, and money is going back because there are no takers. And of course, there is paperwork. Of course, there is, kind of confidence that the bankers and the government has to get that, these children can be productive, they can do it. We have to demonstrate that. So maybe initial challenges will be there. And there are very successful models that are available in different parts of the state. If we can only copy it and expand it, it will happen.
But whom do we approach, sir, for more information about these loans? The private banks or any government agency?
See, private banks, they need not do legally. Okay. All the nationalized banks and, what they call as lead banks in every district. And the lead banks, if we can go there, they will be able to tell. I think probably go and engage them as your friends. Seek them to partner with you, to guide you to begin with, how to go about it. Because when they get involved, when they know what are the capabilities of the children, and they can influence the grant making officers and the managers to provide the grant, because it's only a question of the knowledge. What they have today is limited because we haven't done enough time and energy spent. And thirdly, we haven't looked them as our partners. And there are a lot of good managers, good officers who are willing to join hands and create some models. So I think we should take the help of deputy commissioners in the district, and he can call the meeting, or CEOs. They will be able to call the meeting. But only you should know, I have 100 children in Mangalore, so we want to create something. How can you help us? But the CEO and the DC should get a clarity that you are very serious and you're really wanting to do something. When that happens, CEO, DC, and all other officers will lend you that support. Okay. Because we need to get to that level, give a confidence that we are a serious group, we really wanted to do something, and we are committed to do, the productive support for these kids. Then things will fall in place.
But are these loans interest-free for special needs, or if there is any more benefit?
See, most of these loans are subsidized or less interest, all that. And even certain time, every district under 5% money, every DC will have some substantial money, somewhere around 8 crores, 10 crores like that. Okay. Yeah. Every district will have. So you can set aside 50 lakhs only for this, for experimenting.
Okay.
But only thing is, as I told you, the DC and all that, you have to get a confidence. The CEO has to get a confidence. If people can do, you're serious about it, then they will do it. See, money is not a dearth. It's only a question of the knowledge. It's only a question of leadership. It's only a question of demonstrating that our children can be more productive. So lend us your help.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you for that information, sir. So I know you are this thing of empowering parents. So I would like to ask you, like, how can parents come together to form an NGO or a forum? And how will a government scheme help us parents in that?
See, if you really look around, parents have depth because they're day in and day out, experiencing, and they have a knowledge. And many of my parents I've seen, like you, are professionals. They have a lot of skills. Right. The only point is how they will use their different strengths together for a purpose.
Right.
And therefore, whether you are willing to form, as a parent association, formalize it, it's up to you. But at least you can start informal groups. Every Mangalore kind of a place can have 3-4 informal groups. They can meet regularly. They can share, because the parents do need emotional support. They do need sharing of knowledge and skills, how they tackled it. And many a time, in my experience, you cannot do this work on an individual basis.
Right, sir.
Only when you can see, many a time when 3-4 people come together, the problem will be easily solvable. But even if you have a money, even if you have a skills, as an individual, you can do very, very little. So therefore, the need for parents to come together is very, very critical. And also to take ownership. See, end of the day, don't wait for others to do. You jump in, and others will join hands with you. And of course, I have done a lot of work with several parent groups within Bangalore. I mean, for the very, very beginning. But also, you need to take part in various government meetings and government, officials meeting, and put forth your point. For example, you say, I need a specific transport support from A to B place so that my child can travel with safety, with less cost. Ask for such specific request. The government can look at it, how it can support you. When there's number, government will definitely do something about it.
For this, we need to approach the DC, sir?
DC, transport department, see, there will be a lot of officers. The only thing is, they all think that this is a very small problem. They don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So therefore, we need to do something more.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you for that. I think most of the parents out there have got the information, what they look out for. So it's a need of the hour. So what do you would say? Like, I have formed a support group for parents with special needs in and around Mangalore. So what advice would you give parents, whether it's good to be a part of a support group and how much it is needed? Whether it's a need of the hour to form support groups?
I believe this is long overdue. And I would say, I would appeal all the parents, come together, join hands, and become a force for change.
Right,
and
sir.
This is, your right. And you don't have to ask for a favor. You need to demand as part of your right. It can only happen when you all come together and ensure that all of you can play collectively a greater role, and life can change dramatically for people with special needs in the days to come, because in this country we have a knowledge, we have a skills, we have a resources. Just that we need to organize, and we have to think big, and we have to achieve it. Please join hands, come together, let's work together so that we can make this thing to happen.
That's a beautiful advice, sir. Thank you. So I would again like to ask, like, we have heard of there are railway concessions or airfare concession, toll free for special needs. Are they really there, sir? And what extent are there?
See, for example, if you're, it's only in here India, if you're traveling, 50% concessions are there.
For all types, because we have seen autism is not included there. Or physical.
No, earlier it was not. Earlier it was not. Now, after new act has come, it is included now.
Okay, so all sorts of disabilities
there
are there.
21 disabilities which are sort of listed. They all will get the benefit. Yeah.
So railway as well as airfare, sir. 50%.
Yeah. Railway, and in Karnataka, even road transport. If you pay 1,200 up to 100 kilometer a year, you can travel
Okay.
free.
But the toll free is also there, sir, for special needs?
There is a toll free, yeah. It's certainly there, but you need to have that card, no? Because he or she should be there
What
in the
card,
vehicle.
sir?
No. There should be disability card, and
Okay.
there is an order issued. See, certain vehicles, they will mention it a disabled, because it's very obvious. But also, if there is a disabled person in a vehicle, then you can use that facility. If it is not there, they will not allow you, because it's meant for the disabled person to travel.
So here it need not be only physically disabled, no, sir. It can be
any disability.
As far as we have the UDID card, that will be sufficient.
Yeah. So tell them that is a toll free, because sometimes the awareness levels are very poor.
Right. They are not aware that is specifically.
They are not aware.
Yes.
There is an order. Carry that order and show him. Just keep one order. Whatever the government order they've issued.
Where will we get that order, sir?
We can share that card with you. We can always share that card with you. Keep one card and educate parents. Because see, what happens is all this becomes normal when more and more people start
using. Right, sir.
See, if they don't use, people will not be aware of it. Right now, very few people are using it.
Right. Through this medium, I just want to tell that, people shall be more aware of all these things. And once the order comes, we can maybe pass on that order to all of them.
Sure. We can find a copy of committee.
Yeah. So you have told us all these benefits. Is there a particular website where we can go through all these benefits for special needs children?
See, unfortunately, we haven't really sort of still, very well done any of this. And of course, most of these, websites are not outdated, not updated, and all that. I think we can work, one platform for the parents also, where you can take active part and build one. People can use it.
Okay.
Because this is a multiple departments.
Right.
And so multiple departments have got a small role to play in each of the disability. So there is not so much a priority. Whereas for the parents, it's a priority area.
Right, sir. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So now I would like to ask you, sir, what is your contribution to society? Like you have been working for the last 3 decades for disability. So are you satisfied with the working of schemes for the special children of our country? Are you satisfied with the profession you have chosen?
See, basically, I must say that where we were about 30 years ago and where we are today, we have made some progress.
True.
And there is a lot, has happened in terms of law, in terms of schemes, in terms of program. But, it's always a situation, there is a lot more needs to be done. Well, if you ask me satisfaction, where we began, where we are today, yes, we all have, traveled quite a distance. But where you need to go, how much you want to achieve, there is always, scope for us to do more.
Okay.
And always, together we can do better.
Right.
I believe that today the acceptance levels are high, parents are playing a lot more role, and many people with disability are IAS officers, the doctors and engineers. It was not a scene. And only in our country, you see this kind of, the openness and creativity, and many of our people with disabilities are running industries, and not just national, international level they have reached. So, when we see that, that's really great. But amount of work that we need to do is a lot more.
Right.
Particularly, we need to reach rural area, remote area. And that is where I think the leadership of the parents play a key role. And I've been working very closely with the parents and disability people groups. And I created DNA, Disability NGOs Alliance. All the voluntary organizations come together so that there's a common voice for the disability sector. But in terms of investment for the disability sector from the government, from the society is far less. Because we need to demand, more and more for the disability sector. People still look at this as a welfare activity. They don't look at this as a developmental activity. I think that is a shift we need to bring in.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, what would you suggest? Like, how can we make Mangalore or Karnataka state as such a more inclusive society?
See, I always believe we can make laws, we can create standards, we can print books, we can create website, but end of the day, we all need to involve.
Right.
Because there
So,
is a goodness.
as a team.
Yeah, as a team. And when once all of us believe that we can find an answer and there is need to do it, it is not just people with disability, no, the accessibility for all, right?
Right.
Look at senior citizens today. The needs of the senior citizens, the needs of the people with disability is one and the same. So a large number of senior citizens are there, and our transport need to be more accessible, and our all public places need to be more user friendly, and we need to take on more proactive role and learn a little bit more in terms of technicalities, in terms of getting our contacts used. Then things will change, and things will change dramatically. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
there's definitely a way forward that will bring down the cost of today's rehabilitation cost is very high because there's no inclusion. The transportation cost is too high. We need to bring down. So once we're able to create a society for all and some kind of products for all, people with disability will have near normal life because we don't have any issues of exclusivity. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much for giving us so much information, sir, and for empowering the parents. Before we close, I would like to ask you, sir, what message would you like to give through News Karnataka to all the special parents out there?
Well, I think as parents, you have done a lot of contribution, a lot of work that you have done. I think the time has come. You need to play a central role. You need to be a voice for the disability sector. You have to play a key role in ensuring that the programs that are designed, programs that are developed, are the not only disabled friendly, it's also friendly for parents. It should be based on their need. And as much as importance are given to people with disability in rehab area, the parents also need to be provided such a support, because particularly mothers, I feel that they are, overstretched as of now. And so government and all others has to come up with a support system so that they have a quality health. They have, they enjoy what they do. But today it's a lot of pressure and a lot of anxiety and burden on them. I think as a society, as a government, as all of us have a role to play in ensuring that they too have their space. They too have what they want.
Right, sir.
I think that's the message I want to give.
So, as we leave, sir, if you would like to leave a note, a thank you note for News Karnataka, what would it be, sir?
So, thank you so much, News Karnataka, for taking lead and do more of this. And I was telling Mrs. Meena that we should do it, online, ask questions, and it should be more dynamic. Maybe we'll do it in future. And thank you taking lead. And we need people like you to spread the message, to reach to people. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. To all the parents out there, there's so many benefits. We had a wonderful talk and discussion with Sir Basavaraju. He has guided us very much, and he's always there to support parents. So I think as parents, we need to come together, empower ourselves. We have already have experts like Sir to guide us always, I think. So you will be always there in the forefront to be there. So please, parents, reach out. We have so many facilities. Take advantage of those. Let's all come together, empower ourselves, empower our children, and then only we can have a better inclusive society. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being a guest today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.